Hey everyone, this is Mark Ryan coming at you with another video. Today we have another special guest. Would you like to take a moment just to introduce your channel? I was browsing on it and I saw that we have a lot of just similar interests and everything, but just take a moment to introduce yourself to everyone here.
Yeah, man. My channel is called Riconize, Worldview from the Cave. So biblical worldview based on like current events. I pretty much try to touch on things that maybe won't get talked about in a Sunday service. So like maybe what's going on, through just crazy videos. I try to do a lot of reaction videos, just because a lot of that can be relatable to kind of understand how to get through life. A lot of my stuff on there is like victimhood and the mentality of the Black community too, and how I've overcome that, and that has changed my life drastically, and how I can help other people just have a perspective that is not necessarily the same, and not like the big group think. A lot of that stuff is unpopular opinions, not just that stuff, but a lot of things I talk about unpopular opinions that everyone doesn't necessarily agree with. And I stand on it, but it comes all from a biblical worldview. So if anything I'm saying is not biblical, someone check me, show me the Bible in verse, and show me the chapter. But that's kind of where I stick at, man. I got saved in college playing football. I played some pro ball, and retired.
Say that one more time. You said you played some what?
Some pro ball.
Okay, really? We'll have to dive into that for sure. Yeah.
Played the CFL and arena league. So, but I played some ball, retired from there. And now I'm 9-to-5 guy, which is nothing wrong with that. It's a blessing. But yeah, I thought, maybe I need to do YouTube, man. People told me, get my voice out there to, be heard, and for the sake of the other Christians who are going through the same thing or went through the same thing and just kind of wondering how to get through this. It's a lot of crazy stuff right now, current event wise, daily stuff, man. You know it, man.
Yeah, dude, we wake up every day, and it used to be, hey, every day will be like the last day. Well, that's not true anymore. We could wake up tomorrow and things could be radically different, I think, or even just year from year. 2023 could look a lot different than this year even. And it's something that I took for granted growing up because, when I was 16, 17, 20, all those years, hey, nothing really changes. You just live your life from day to day. And we know that's that may not always be the case here in the future for sure. But with that, I kind of like to get into a personal segment of, hey, I live in Montana, and talk kind of about my roots in Montana, and then wherever who I'm talking to is from, just introduce kind of life, maybe a story that you had growing up, or your roots kind of growing up.
Oh yeah. So I'm from DC, DMV, man. I lived in DC, Virginia, Maryland. I lived all around. So went to school in DC and in Maryland, and Virginia. Most of the time I lived in Virginia though, like the Northern Virginia area, like Alexandria, around that area, Falls Church area. So, it's a big city. So growing up in there is a lot different than Montana. So
how big was your city? Like about
my school was huge. I mean, you think about it, we had like 1,400 people in school.
Oh well.
The high school, so it was a big high school. We had like, in a district in that area, we had like, you had a whole, like, you could cross the street and be in a different school district. Literally, like, across the street from my apartment building, you can go in a whole different school, be in a whole different school district. You can't go to that school because of boundaries, but you're literally across the street from the high school. So it's just a big area, man. Space fast. You kind of get involved in a lot of different things quickly if you don't have a home where, you kind of like have someone reeling you in every single day and keeping you like on your heels every day. So kind of got riled up in a lot of different things, man.
You're saying there's a lot of trouble to get into in Washington, D.C. Basically. I mean, your high school is over like twice the size of my hometown. And when I want to go to Walmart, it's like an hour and a half drive to Walmart, an hour and a half drive back. It's in college was even worse. I won't even get started about college. But yeah, things are pretty different, I would say, in that, like in my hometown, we always complain, hey, there's nothing to do because we have a movie theater, a bowling alley, and snow. And during the summer, there's some hiking in the mountains and stuff. But Washington, D.C. area, there's probably something new every single day. So it would be pretty polar opposite there, right?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I mean, in terms of like, yeah, it's a crazy place to live, man. And even think of now, having a family. I'm married. I've been married for 6 years. Got 3 kids. It's just I think about like what it would be like if I lived out there, and I couldn't live out there no more. Just like raising a family, I don't really want to be in a big city type of environment like that. I want to kind of be in the outskirts. So, but yeah, you could definitely get in some trouble, man. You definitely need a lot of child rearing.
Well, my family, they all left Montana pretty much, and they're out, Atlanta area, Georgia area. And I'll come to visit like every year for Christmas, and they'll try to convince me to move down there because that's where all my family's at. And all I have to do is deal with traffic, and it's like, no, I'm not gonna deal with, an hour and a half driving to work each day. Of course, that's probably changed with what's going on nowadays. There's a lot of remote working and all that. But
Oh yeah,
when
pretty
I
much
go to
every.
work, it's a 5 minute drive. I'm there in 5 minutes and it's nice. It's really nice.
I wish.
Yeah.
That's bad up there.
Mhm.
Bad.
And I got a story. I got a new Labrador, black lab, and it's right now over here in Montana. It's freezing cold and it freezes at night and stuff. Well, I put a faucet cover over my water spigot outside and let the dog out. What does he do? He chews it up. And you have to put it on that water spigot so your pipes don't freeze because then they can burst and then create just a ton of water damage and everything. Well, he chews it up. So I buy a second one. Let the dog out again, choose that one up. Buy a third one, a fourth one, a fifth one. And finally, I just bought the sixth one, and hopefully that one stays there and the puppy does not chew it up. And hopefully I don't lose my temper, something like that. So, but that's kind of life in Montana for you.
Yeah, I mean, right now I got a German Shepherd, so I love the dog life, man. I had a German Shepherd for about 5 years, man. That's it. That's where to go. If you want to get a dog, get a German Shepherd. That's the way. That's where you want to go.
Uh-huh. I was always debating between a German Shepherd and a Lab. I could always get another dog. I've got two right now.
Get you a German Shepherd too, man. Add it to the collection. I'm gonna
Mhm.
get something here soon, man. About 6. I want about 3 dogs.
3 dogs, really?
I want a Kangal next. It's like
I
it's like 6'7" or something crazy tall.
I've heard of that. Like a long time ago, I was researching dogs looking for, just hey, what's out there? Yeah. Huh.
Crazy ones.
Well, with that, I think we'll get into our second segment. And when I was putting this segment together, I thought, hey, let's do something fun. Let's do a word association game. Does that sound fun?
Let's do it.
And I was thinking, hey, let's get like Riconize into as much trouble as we possibly can. So if you're watching today, hey, you can find Riconize's channel on YouTube, and it's spelled Riconize. Is that right?
Riconize, worldview from the cave. Yes, sir.
Riconize. Okay. It's and so hey, if again, torches, pitchforks, angry mob, go check out his channel and go talk to him on his channel. Okay.
Get some angry comments too.
Get some angry comments. I mean, we have a Discord, and normally I screenshot the angriest comments and throw it on there, and people kind of get a good laugh out of it to a degree, depending on the comment. Sometimes there's good comments with good feedback, and I'm like, oh, okay, they were definitely right there.
Right.
But hey, Riconize, if you want to tap out, you can tap out at any time. You could say pass. You could tap dance if you want. There's no no live stream, so you can't ask the audience or anything. But let's start out with some easy stuff. Does that sound good?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Favorite band?
Ooh, favorite band. Uh, I don't really listen to rock like that, but if you're talking about a band, oh man, that's rough.
Do you listen to a lot of music, or
I listen to music. Yeah, I listen to music. Music is rough, man. It's rough to find music though. I hit you with an old school Mason Frankie Beverly.
I have never heard of that. I don't know what that is.
You might have heard of Tame Impala. I don't know, probably not. I like Tame Impala. They have some good, decent songs. Some songs are like, I don't really.
So
but
what genre is that?
It's like alternative. If we're going like rock bands, if we got to do a rock band, I'm not really into rock, but I'll do an alternative type rock.
Yeah. So that's not heavy metal or anything. More like light then, is that?
Like kind of like, yeah, it's not like screamo.
Okay. Oh, screamo. Oh man.
Screamo.
No, my favorite band, Skillet. Oh
Skillet?
man. Yep. I lost my voice at a Skillet concert. It was amazing. Best day ever. Or one of them. Best movie of all time.
Remember the Titans was hard.
Okay.
Remember the Titans was hard, man. And also like it's like it's down the street from where I used to grow up. So it's like it was also like a hometown type movie. So
okay, I'm not sure if I've ever seen all of it. I know I've seen
whoa,
half or most of it. I should say stuff like this.
You ain't seen Remember the Titans?
I've seen most of it, or half or so.
Gotta watch that tonight, dog.
I probably should. When I was in college, we had our Star Wars people, right? And they're talking Star Wars, and I mentioned, hey, I'd never seen it, and they're like, what? And they scheduled all 6. Hey, we're gonna watch all 6 back to back to back, and that's kind of what we did. Actually, we did 3 and 3. Hey, favorite book? Are you much of a book reader, or any thoughts on that?
I'm a book. I like books. I don't really. I like audio. I like listening to audiobooks. Because I had the more time to do it. I don't really have always the time to sit down and read. If it's not the Bible, it's like I feel almost kind of bad. I'm like, I can just read blah 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 blah. I'll say, it's a Vodi Bakum book. I actually have it in here in my bookcase. It's called Family Driven Faith.
Oh yeah.
So that's a good book, man. I really like that book. And a book I read when I was young, I liked it. It's called Slam. I was in like grade school. So
I should check that one out. I haven't heard that one from Vodi. I've read one book. I mean, his most popular book, that probably everyone's heard of.
Right.
I think you answered this earlier, but hey, your favorite sport?
Probably football.
Football, yeah. And the greatest, yeah.
I used to like basketball a lot. I thought I was going to make it to basketball first, but but they call me Baby Braun. If y'all didn't know, you want to play me 1-on-1, we can get it going.
Yeah. And your favorite quarterback ever, though? Or actually, no, greatest quarterback of all time. Let's go there.
Tom Brady, without a doubt.
Tom Brady. Okay, we fully agreed there. I lived in Wisconsin for a while, and it was before Tom Brady had a bunch of his rings. Aaron Rodgers had just won a Super Bowl, and they were saying, hey, Aaron's better than Tom Brady. And I was just laughing at that. No, Tom Brady, it's not even close, I think.
Not close.
But people argue Joe Montana too. No?
Stop. He got 6. Tom Brady has 6 rings. Oh my God. You know how hard it is to get 6
I think it's 7 now. Isn't it 7? You lose track though.
You lose track.
Yeah.
And he went to 10 Super Bowls. Come on, man.
It's not even close. Yeah.
If you think Tom Brady's not the GOAT, drop it in the comments.
So let's try this one then. The greatest NBA player of all time.
Michael Jordan.
Okay. Hey, we're full agreement on this. This is starting out like pretty well then. Yeah.
LeBron, don't even talk about it.
Yeah.
He should never. He's not even in the top. No. Yeah, it's Michael Jordan. Yeah, it's Michael Jordan. We don't want to talk about after that.
Because it's debatable who number 2 is. But there's
Yeah,
no debate on number 1 in my book. Yeah.
zero.
Um, favorite football team, professional football team.
See, I don't have one because I'm like, hey man, y'all not paying me. I still, oh man. If I had to root for a team, it'd be the Ravens though.
The Ravens. Okay, well, Super Bowl prediction for this year. If you know who's playing, it is, let me think, Kansas City versus the Bengals, and then San Francisco versus the Rams. Who's going to make it?
It's going to be Chiefs, 49ers. And,
so a repeat, yeah.
And the Chiefs are going to edge them out by 10.
Okay. And I'm not just copying you, but I thought, hey, Kansas City will play San Francisco again. Because I have to root for Andy Reid. He's still the head coach there, I think.
Yeah.
And so I think he's a great coach and underrated, and I kind of root for him. Let's get into some more maybe controversial stuff then. Get done with the easy questions, right? First word, hey, John Gruden.
Funny guy.
Okay. Next guy, hey, Colin Kaepernick.
Has no identity.
Okay. Do you want to leave it there or expound upon that, or?
I'll expound if you want me to.
Okay, yeah.
I think Colin Kaepernick, I watched the documentary on Netflix, and truly, it was, I felt bad for the guy because, not that I'm better than him, but a lot of people worship blackness and being black. And some people won't call me names for it. I don't really care. But my first identity is with Christ. Then I'm a father. No, then I'm a Christ, then I'm a husband, then I'm a father. So that's where my identity stands. God, unpopular opinion, I don't believe in racism. Race is made up by man. God made the human race. God made ethnicity. Now we all have different ethnicities. That's just, God gave us that. So that's going to be very unpopular. So with that all being said, Colin Kaepernick just has a lack of self-identity, and I think he's trying to find it in so many different ways to just show through the documentary that he's placing to us about his life. You showing me this is about your life. So, I mean, you can't tell me this is not your life. You made it for you. So, but what it showed a lack of, it's tough, man. His parents gave him up. You know, a family brings him in that maybe don't understand him and whatever, blah, blah, blah. He's trying to find his way through. So it just made me kind of feel like, man, it kind of put the pieces together to say, this is why we all need Jesus, and we all can find our identity in Christ and find out who we really are. So that's kind of how it was for me.
I'll have to go check that out. I have not seen the documentary, and it does sound interesting though, for sure. Hey, next word, take a moment. Hey, Donald J. Trump.
The great.
And by the way, hey, you can find Riconize's channel. Hey, on YouTube. Go check it out if you don't like whatever here. But what were you gonna say now?
I said the great white hope.
Okay. Well, like I said, go check out his channel and let him know what you thought about that. Do you want to elaborate on that too?
I don't mind Donald Trump. Some people are gonna hate me for it, I guess too. You're not playing about the questions right now. You don't like it. But I don't mind Donald Trump. I think he's what did you expect? He wasn't Christian. You think he's going to have Christian values over and over and over again? But he came from a Republican side, which usually leans towards Christian values. So obviously people want to vote for him. I don't have no problem with people voting for him. Shoot, if he ran again, I probably would vote for him.
Wait. Is he going to run again though? Is it your prediction? Is it going to be Biden all over again versus Trump in 2024? I was really rooting for a Trump versus Oprah. I wanted that to happen in 2020. Oprah let me down. But any thoughts there?
Trump versus Oprah would be hilarious. First of all, Oprah would get a lot of votes. I just wonder what Oprah would say, like that would get people to try to vote for her. Like, bro, we ain't trying to listen to you, bro. You're a talk show host. But at the same time, it's like Trump is like, okay, well, you was the dude who said you're fine. Like,
you can't make that stuff up. And I always go to, hey, like these are the two most qualified individual in the United States to lead the country. I find that radically, exceptionally hard to believe that Trump and Biden, they were the best two candidates that we could find to lead this country. That's a radically troubling sign in my book. That doesn't comfort me at all when I go to bed at night. I mean, first of all, I'm comforted that Jesus Christ is on the throne, and whatever purpose he has, he'll accomplish through Trump, Biden, whoever is president. And yeah. Next person, Joel Osteen.
Oh my God, a crook.
Yeah.
Crook, dude is, oh my God, I can go on for this.
Well, he gets up and he smiles a lot, and he's really, really nice. Seems like a exceptionally nice guy. But yeah, full agreement there with his prosperity gospel, I would say.
Yeah, those are.
And next word, this question's for me, actually, and maybe one other guy, but hey, your eschatology, what comes to mind?
Eschatology. Does that mean like if I'm reformed or if I'm Pentecostal or all that?
Well, just any first thing that pops into your mind, eschatology.
Diving deep in the word. I don't know. The Bible. When I hear that, I think Bible.
Okay, that's good. A safe answer there, right? Hey, post millennialism or post mill eschatology.
Listen, man, I'm not gonna act like I'm Bodie Bachum's son, Riconize Bachum, but post mill. What's post mill? They gonna probably be like, "Oh, we're not gonna watch this channel. He don't know." I'm saved. I'm born again, and I'm heaven.
See, we're in the same boat in that I haven't really gone deep. It sounds like for both of us into eschatology. I have a stance that when I hear the different sides and everything presented, and if I talk about post-millennialism, I would probably misrepresent it, and there'd probably be people tell me in the comments, "Hey, Mark, you misrepresented what we believe." But it's the Christianity will basically flood the earth and overtake the earth, not just spiritually, but like physically even. And that will usher in the return of Jesus Christ. I'm sure there's some post-mill guys that want to comment on that, but any final thoughts on that, or should we move on to the next one?
You can move on. Whenever Jesus comes, look, I'm not going to know whether I'm dead or not. I'm with him. I'm fine.
Well, and there are some people that focusing more on eschatology with what's going on right now in the nation and just the unsettling times, where it might be good for people to revisit that, to a degree. That's not what I live in by any means. I like soteriology and studying the attributes of God, but I thought there. Next word, free will.
Free will. It's God given. I would say God gave us free will, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
Next word. Hey, clean shaven.
Oh no, man, it's beard gang all day.
There we go. Full agreement there. Yeah.
Beard gang.
I put this one in there. This one is for me again. Hey, just real quick off the top of your head, what comes to your mind? Garbage can.
First thing came to my head just now is Mike Todd. I don't know why.
Mike Todd. Well, that's the wrong answer. Because if people that go to my channel, they'll comment and say, "Hey, Mark, it's become the Marcus Rogers channel. That's all that you ever talk about. Well, he's the famous guy that said, hey, God told me to put my head in a garbage can full of water, record it for millions of people to see. And I haven't moved on from that, but a lot of people take him seriously. Well, yep, God really did tell you to put your head in a garbage can. Hey, has God ever told you to put your head in a garbage can? Maybe I'm missing something here.
Marcus Rogers is a really he it's so terrible what he's doing, man. It's just that stuff bothers me, man. Just I pray that he's open to talk though. I feel like from what people will say, he does not willing to talk to certain people. I guess if you have a platform that's like, I guess you may have he has maybe a sub limit. You have to have 2,000 subs or more to talk to, I guess, because if you're not, you're nobody. But neither here nor there.
Well, and he's been corrected over and over and over again by many mature Christians, many of them way smarter than me. And at this point, like, he refuses to obey scripture, refuses to teach the gospel, the triune God. But he's, everyone's talking about Marcus Rogers and what's going on there. And a lot of people are saying, hey, like, move on, talk about something else. And a big part of me wants to say, amen. Like, amen. I want to talk about other things. And yet when I see things that's coming out of his mouth, and interacting with oneness Pentecostals who hold to what Marcus Rogers believes, a big part of me is like, well, no, I can't just move on and call it quits, even though, like, I want to, like, believe me, I really do want to move on there.
I mean, I get it though, because I mean, it's tough to. I don't know why you have to move on when it's. I mean, I get it, moving on, but if he keeps saying stupid stuff, I'm gonna keep making videos about him saying stupid stuff. I don't know. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he hasn't gone anywhere. He's still deceiving people. He's still doing his services and on a daily basis, really. And so I think it is worth a Christian, a biblical response for sure.
Right.
Next word, marijuana.
Marijuana. Complicated topic, I would say. Complicated topic. It gets people mad, I think. It's complicated. Complicated people to talk about, especially Christians.
Because I mean, 20 years ago, it seems like with Christians, there was unanimous support. It seemed like, hey, or a large support base, hey, no, like, not marijuana. But part of that was because it was like federally illegal. And actually it still is, I think. But now with states legalizing it, well, that argument, it's gone. And it seems to be falling like dominoes, and more states are legalizing it and everything. Which, hey, we even have to think through stuff like that today, things that, people, our fathers probably didn't have to really think about. Hey, it's illegal, don't do it. Right. Here's one: separation between church and state. Another. We got all the hard, like hard ones out there for you today. Yeah.
Wrong. That's complicated, but I think the intention of the world really should be on Christ, and we should have, the reason why we have morals is because of God. So if there's no morality or right and wrong, then there wouldn't be a God. God created right, wrong, morals, and all that. So church, so when it comes to that, both of those going together, it's like sometimes I guess people feel like you shouldn't have rule. The church shouldn't have rule over the state, and they should have their own decisions. But at the same time, if God didn't have the decision making, it'll be a lot more wickedness. Do you really want the state to make the decisions? Because if you really make the state making decisions, then it's going to be a whole lot of more mess. I could just say one day that, hey, you know what? I'm gonna make a law, if I get enough people to sign it and different that and go through the whole process, that if everyone likes it enough, that I think I should be able to take your wife. if I have enough money, I should be able to buy your wife off you, or sign a contract that I can take your wife and take your property. Like it could just it could. I think it's a slippery slope when you try to take God out of ruler in the country, but a lot of that is politics, and I'm not well versed on politics. Crazy, so I don't know. I don't want to say the wrong thing because I don't know everything on that. So I don't know.
Well, and there's some laws that it's Mosaic law. It's good biblical law in America. And we're seeing parts of that being overturned.
Oh yeah.
Well, is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? I always think, hey, originally Christianity, there was kind of a distinction between church and state. You had Christians, you had Nero, you had the Roman government, but then
Right.
Constantine converted to Christianity. Hey, I'm a Christian now. And by the way, the state is head of the church. We're in charge, and the church does what the state says.
Right.
And it was that way for a long time until, popes rose up and they said, no, you got this all wrong. Basically, the church is head of the state, and popes, hey, we can excommunicate you to hell if we want. And so the church is actually in charge over the state. And it took part of the Reformation. Not all the reformers agreed on this. Luther was a little bit different. But hey, there's actually a separation there. The church is not head over the state. The state is not head over the church. Jesus Christ is head over the church. And I would argue, and today in Christianity, it probably get people in hot water, but I would say, hey, Jesus Christ, the head of the state as well. And that, hey, whose laws do we want to live by? Like Christ's law, or can people improve upon that? Are there better laws that the state can invent? God's law is perfect. I don't believe it can be improved upon.
100%. I 100% agree with you. God's law has given people the right to protect themselves. God's law has shown us how you treat your neighbor perfectly. So I 100,000% agree with you in terms of God's law is a perfect way to show the best way to live. And people are just left and right trying to turn it and make it something else, and it's just terrible, man.
Next word, hey, heresy. Hunter, you probably heard this around, maybe a little bit on YouTube and stuff. Any thoughts on that?
Bull crap. That's my word with that. Bull crap. That's bull crap. Heresy Hunter.
Well, let me make the argument. Hey, you heresy hunters, all you like to do is bash people. Nothing productive is being done. Any thoughts?
It's just such a cop out, because it's like you like to do certain stuff, right? So why, when you like to do certain stuff, I don't call you or whatever. But if I can like to call heresy out, that's okay. That's a desire that God can place in your heart to want to call, to expose evil. And Titus talks about this, and in the Bible, and so many verses in the Bible talks about false teaching, exposing them, exposing the darkness, and just being a lie, and talks about false teaching and how they're so detrimental to the body of Christ. So I don't understand why someone would go out their way to say, I'm gonna call people, give people a title, heresy hunter. I think that's it. It really comes down to those women or men that say that are people pleasers. They want to please men over God. And then if men kind of are unsettled with what they're saying, they think it's something wrong with it.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, in that, hey, we have to please God and seek amens out of heaven more than the applause of other people. And yeah. Probably the last one, maybe two. Flat Earth.
It's a circle.
Okay. Well, I just had to check there. Just had to make sure that, we were on the same page there for sure. Last word would be meta church. Have you heard anything about the meta church and the future of the internet, I guess, right?
Well, that's bull crap too. I was gonna make a video actually about metaverse about a month and a half ago. My wife was telling me, you should make a video about metaverse and talk about that. I was like, who's gonna want to hear me talk about that? But I guess Montana Viking will want to hear me talk about that. So or he's interested in it. So hey, he's part of the audience, right?
Well,
But I
and
think it's just
yeah,
goofy.
that's the future though, in that I think if I understand it right, the metaverse is supposed to replace the internet in a sense and kind of emerge people in a digital reality. And you have, I think it's Craig Rochelle, who's really pushing the meta church. And
Mhm.
it's something that Christians will have to think through and probably hasn't been thought through the most. And I think it's some breaking territory that people could look into and speak into. Because I mean, just off the top, baptism, can you do a meta church baptism like in virtual reality? Um, no.
No.
And yet I've seen it where a more liberal church on the meta church, it's not a church, but they'll do that. Can you do communion in meta church? Is it the same as, or even better than just phone church where you're on your phone? Well, now you're digitally next to other digital people, singing, listening to a sermon or whatever. So yeah, something to think through.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I think it's gonna be an excuse for people not to fellowship,
Mhm.
not take the, and it's gonna be looked at as like, oh, that's fellowship, that's if they want to do that, that's fellowship and blah blah. It's just not, that's not fellowship. That's not what God said. God said you can't do communion over a metaverse, and it's a mess.